let us discuss the important concept called array. Arrays are one of the important concepts that we use now to make the complex task simpler. So it's a quite important task in the programming concepts. Let us discuss what is an array. Array is basically a data type. Array is data type. It's a derived data type. An array is a consecutive group of memory locations that all array will be of type. Okay. Say, so it will be a consecutive memory locations. In each location, same data will be stored. That's array. Then, how to declare an array? How to declare an array? So, array can be declared. So, how to declare an array? So, to declare an array, first we specify the data type. What type of data we are going to store in array locations? Then the array, then array size. We know the array size, we can specify the array size. Otherwise, we can leave it blank so that infinite amount of size will be given here for the array. So array name, it's a user defined name, and that will be used as an array. So in order to make use of an array, so what we have to do, either no, for making use of an array mean to say that either you can read the data from an array or you can write the data from an array. So how do we do this? So here, by specifying the by specifying the array name and by specifying the index of the array location, we can specify here. We can access a particular element. Either you can write a value into an element, or we can read a value from an array location. Okay. So what do we have here is the array name, right? The same array name we are going to use it here. First we have to declare, then we have to make use of it. And if you are interested in accessing the array in sequence, array elements in sequence, the better way of doing this is for loop. By using a for loop. By using the loop constructs, we can easily access an array in sequence. So these are the three important concepts that we need to know. That is how to declare an array and how to access an array either individually or in sequence, one by one from the array elements. Now here we have one simple example to illustrate the array declaration and the use of array. So here what do we have? This is the simple program illustrates of an array here. Okay. First, as usual, we will be having the comment line for a program, that is illustration of arrays. Then followed by, we can have the header file declarations. Number 2, we have header file declarations. Then in line number 3, what do we have? It is ASCII representation. Then line number 4, the start of the main is declared here. And I divided into 3 parts to illustrate the use of an array. So the line number 6, I have written on a block comment stating that particular block is used to declare an array and using a loop to initialize the elements, isn't it? So there must be some content before we make use of an array, or we can write some value into an array. So either way, we can either store or we can retrieve the data from an array. Then how do we do this? So here we have used in the line number 8, we have declared an array called n. It is going to store the data of type int, and within bracket we specify the size going to an array, it's going to have 10 elements. It's going to have 10 here. So we are going, we just have here, see out the array elements are. See array elements are. Since it is of 10 elements, array of 10 for loop, which will execute for. So here for loop, an identifier is specified here. That is, dynamically it is here called int. Then int I is initialized with the value 0. Then I is less than 10. I is less than 10. I plus plus. I plus plus. So now here what will happen? So by using this now for loop as a counter, we will get the values from 0 to, we'll get the values from 0 to 10 or 0 to 9 we will get it here. 0 to 9 is nothing but a 10. Okay. What will happen? So that we'll use this I here in the location, no, the n of I, in the n of I. So what does it mean? The first time the I will be 0. So n of 0 will get of I into 2. I into 2. So what will happen? Initially it will become 0 into 2. Then n of 0 will be having the value 0. Okay. Then next time when it now immediately what we have a statement C out that will give the value of n of I. What is the current I value? The current I value is 0. So this I value 0 means n of 0 will, what is there in n of 0? You have a 0 value, isn't it? So now what will happen? So after that there will be a tab is here, tab escape sequence is used here. So that will give one tab space. Okay, then still the loop is not over. It will go to the next one. So I will be incremented by 1. So I will become 1. So when I is equal to 1, less than 10, so condition is satisfied. So now the I will n of I in place of n of I, it will be n of 1 now. So to the n of 1 location, that is the one index of an array, the value 1 into 2. So 2 value will be stored in the n of 1 location. So similarly, the whatever the I value that's coming, that will be multiplied by 2. So that will be stored in the consecutive memory locations. So 10, the size of an array is 10. So to 10 memory locations, this operation will continue and it will load the value onto its locations. The next block what we have here is using initializer list. It's another way of declaring an array and making use of it. So here in the previous one, what we have done, we have value. Now the second part, what do we have? We are going to initialize the array. So as we initialize, we have declared an array name Z and of size 7. So that is Z of 7. Then within this bracket, within the curly braces, we have we have represented some 7 values. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 values. All these values are separated by commas. So here we have both declaration and initialization. Both are done here. Then we display that, simply display it on a screen, array list using initializer. So what will happen now? The values are there in an array. Now we have to take the values from an array and display it in our according to our convenience. So what we write here, int j is equal to 0 and the size of an array is 7. So since we are starting from 0 and we have specified here j is less than 7, then j plus plus. So every time the j will be incremented by 1. So as we do this, okay, so first we will get 52, 22, because the first j will be 0. So in a 0 position, what do we have? We have, then j will become 1, 22 will be there. J will become 2, 32 will be there. J equal to 3, 42 will be there. So like this, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values are going to be fetched from an array, and that's going to be displayed on the screen. So now you can see that in another way of using an array size using constant. So previously what we have done, we have specified the size of an array value. But now here what do? We use a constant to hold the size of an array, and similarly we are just going to either write a value or we are going to fetch array. So what we can see here is integer, constant integer array size will hold the value of 10. And now using this concept, what I can do, I can identify the of an array. So here, what is that? Int array of array size is going to be 10. So this instead of 10, that array size is used. This array size will always carry a value 10. So now the actual size of an array with this in this context, it's going to be it's of size 10. Then also here, no, to access an array also we can use the constant. So dynamically we can vary this. Wherever the array size is there, that's going to take an effect of the value 10. So similarly, depends on the k value, the corresponding value will be fetched from the memory locations. And using a tab, so conveniently we are going to print the values on the screen. Okay. Now let's run it and see how it's working. So there are three parts in the program. The first part is what? It is to initialize, declare and initialize the elements using a loop. Second part is using an initializer list. You can see that here. The first part, the array elements are, we have initialized 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Whereas the second part, what we have done, it is we have initializer. No, we have initialized at the time of declaration itself. And by using a for loop, we have fetched the value sequentially. Then by using a constant, we have specified the values of an array. So all the array will have the value 10. Because you can see that, so each element of the array will have the value of the array size, which is a constant. And in this constant, it's going to be 10. So all the elements of an array will have the value 10, 10, 10, 10, and so on. Got it? Okay. And the next thing is multi-dimensional array. Okay, this is basically a single dimensional array, and we can specify 2D array. Also, we can specify the multi-dimensional array. If you want to specify the 2D array, what we have to do? We need to specify both the number of columns. Okay, so it is as simple as declaring an 1D array only. But only thing is what? We are just going to add one more field here. So you can have it here. It's a data type here. This is a int is a data type. B is an array name, and the size of the specified here first. This is a row, and this is going to be a size of a column. Size of a column. So now here, when you specify it, we can declare the variable. No, we can initialize the array with the values also. So it will be specified as 1, 2. Okay. Then 3, 4. So first one is going to be a row, second one is going to be a column, first one is going to be a row, second one is going to be a column. Similarly, it's going to be initialized and also can be declared. And conveniently, however we want, we can print it. Even in the form of matrix also, if we want to print it on the screen. Okay. So arrays are quite important concept in simplifying the complex task. So that will very be helpful, and easily we can declare it and making use of it in C++. Okay, thank you.